Hey everybody, how's it going? Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be talking about the 1909S wheat penny, and it's a pretty valuable date on its own, but there are some errors that are going to make them worth even more money. So these are really called die varieties, but what this video will be is a short lesson on how you should be looking at 1909S coins to make sure that you don't have any of the ones that are worth even more. It could be in any condition, and a lot of these are graded, but sometimes people don't realize that they have the variety when submitting them for grading, so this is just really a good thing to know so that you can be on the lookout for these rare coins. I'll show you where on this 1909S, I only have the normal version, which is still a pretty nice coin, but without the error, you can look for it. Then we'll go to a PowerPoint presentation with a bunch of the images close up as well as the values. So let's get to the next part. And here we've got the close-up on the 1909S, and you're going to want to look right in that mint mark. The S below the date stands for San Francisco, and there's going to be two different repunched mint marks that you're going to want to be on the lookout for. So we'll go to the PowerPoint slide for some really close-up photos, clear images and explanation, and values. And right here is going to be our first repunched mint mark, and you can see a bit of the protrusion kind of up here on the northwest or northeast really corner of the S mint mark, kind of all through there. And this is actually a pretty worn one, so normally it could be seen a little bit clearer. There's also down here in this marking, you can see the protrusion of what would have been a second S bottom serif. But yeah, normally you can see just a little bit north. And this one is worth a fair amount, though remember that the average 1909S coin is going to be worth pretty close to this anyways, so there's actually not a ton of additional value, which is kind of a trend on super key date type coins where there is a variety, but a little bit of divergence certainly at the mint state 65 red levels. There's also a second one that is pretty similar in terms of the value spread, but this one's to the northeast. You can see clearly almost like a mini connector between jutting out between the top serif and the middle of the S, as well as to the northeast. But a lot of these examples have been found, and so you can purchase it pretty easily. So that's kind of an advantage, and hopefully you can find one for yourself as well. Remember that the best way to do this, I like listing these as buy it nows at a little bit of a higher with an offer option as opposed to auctioning it up, because you never know. There's not a huge base of variety collectors, but there's also, and that can work both ways. You know, sometimes people really want to add an example for their collection, so they're willing to bid up in the rare case that one of these comes up, but this is kind of less so in terms of there being less scarcity on the specific variety, but it certainly applies in other cases. And remember that you can look for these in holders, so there's a lot of 1909S coins in holders. Doesn't mean that they were cherry picked, and that's certainly something people have success with, finding coins that are in holders, especially in nice condition, that have cherry picker coins in them with these die varieties, but that have not been identified, so keep that in mind for sure. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like, comment, and definitely subscribe to the channel and connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I also have a website, treasuretownYT.com, where you should go so that you can learn more about coins as well as what's happening on the channel and possibly find a place to sell your coins and collectibles. I also want to talk about some of my other projects like coinmeltprice.com, which shows precious metals prices as well as the melt values of coins containing those precious metals, both US and world. I also have coinsmetalscards.com, which will develop into a full marketplace as well as a news source for coins, metals, cards, as the name might suggest. And then treasuretowncoins.com, which long-term will be my coin dealing entity separate from the channel. And lastly, whatsthegrade.com, which will be a stickering service for already certified collectibles where you can get a approval or verification of the grade on the holder. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you on some of my other videos.